Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about what happens when we have the moon placed in Capricorn in the 10th house for Aries Ascendant. Now, a lot of people have been coming to the channel and saying, oh, well, instead of Aries, I have this placement. No. Well, my videos are tailored to be with Vedic astrology. So I'm teaching Vedic astrology. Because oftentimes people have like two ascendants or like two signs within the first house or things like that in Western astrology. And in Vedic it's a totally separate system. So just want you guys to be aware of that. And so when you come to this channel, I always teach Vedic astrology, not Western. And so, if you want to get your Vedic chart, there's plenty of charts, chart generators online, and you can generate your chart from there. And yeah, just check out your Vedic astrology chart rather than your Western chart. And when you're looking at your Vedic astrology chart, don't look at the, look at either the North Indian chart or the South Indian chart. It's really not Vedic astrology if you're looking at like the circle chart. So there you go. All right. So before we begin, today we're talking about Moon in Capricorn in the 10th house. So before we get started, go ahead and head over to my website, gebotheshaman.com. Same as my channel name, gebotheshaman.com. And you can purchase yourself or a loved one a astrology reading. And I also have a bunch of courses and services available, so check those out. And yeah, so I have this stuff up here for a reason. Go check it out, go buy it, go, look at it if you like, because this is some valuable stuff over here. Alright, so gebotheshaman.com, I also have a astrology certification course that if you want to, purchase it, it goes into depth about certain subjects, like other subjects are not covered, but my style of astrology is. So there you go. Alright, let's get into it. So we have Moon in Capricorn in the 10th house. And so in order to fully understand this system, these energies when we put them together, I need to break them down one by one and tell you what they're about. So let's do that. So essentially, the moon is about the mother, meaning your mother, your relationship with your mother. Anywhere that your moon is placed is your relationship with your mother. And it's also about the mind. So the way you think, the way you feel, it's your psychology. It's not like the mind as in, oh, I could do, trigonometry. No. It's not making calculations, it's thinking and feeling and processing and all that stuff. So the moon is the mind, meaning the heart mind. It is the heart mind, and it's not the intellect up here. The moon is watery, meaning that it changes, so we can have a high tide, we can have a low tide, and this is the shifting nature of the moon. nobody's mental state stays the same throughout their life. They have highs and they have lows, and they have all kinds of stuff in between them. So, and that's all perfectly normal stuff to go through, the highs and lows and all that stuff. So, and then we have the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is naturally the 10th sign of the zodiac, so it pertains to the 10th house. And it pertains to the 10th house because it's the 10th sign, so they have very similar energies. And so, they're basically just one and the same. So I will tell you about each of them, but just know that they're very similar. So Capricorn / the 10th house is about the career. It's about your public reputation. It is about your social standing, or what you do for business, for how people know you. Some people, their 10th house is like, oh, they'll get a lot of fame. Some people, they're like, oh, you're gonna be like a grocery store worker. So it really depends, like, here. So, and again, like, sign of Capricorn and the 10th house pertain to, like, your, as I said, your fame, your social standing. But they also pertain to, the hard work. It's like the hard work that you do every day. That's Capricorn. Like, it's structure, it's discipline, it's organization. It is, just like patience. It's like, if you think about old wealth, like generational wealth, like, you put the money in the bank and you let it grow for 40, 60, 80 years, and then your kids are wealthy. That's Capricorn. Slow moving, patient, all those things. So it's also about structure, discipline, things like that. And so, hold on. Oh yeah, okay. And so when we're looking at Capricorn, we're really thinking about something that is like structured, disciplined, organized. And that pertains to a lot of like your work, your profession, your business, and business work. Like, you can see how someone will be like successful or gain position in their work environment and things like that. And Capricorn is like the, just doing the work, doing hard work. And I think both of those, hard work is like a 4-letter word, so so it's not too people just don't want to do it. More and more common is like people just don't want to work for anything, so it's really, but Capricorn pertains to those people who just work hard, put their nose to the grindstone, and just do it. So it's patience, it's hard work, it's discipline, structure, all those things. And so, when we have the moon here, moon it's a dichotomy. It's strange having the moon here. It's because what does the moon roll over? The moon rolls over the fourth house. The feelings, the, you know, private things, you know. The moon is your home life, your mother, things like that. Things that are very sensitive to you, things that are very close to you. And so bring that energy into the 10th house. You know, it can make someone like very flaky in work. It can make someone just you know, very like they can work well when they want to work well or when they're in the mood to work hard. They can be disciplined, they can be organized, but they can also be like sloppy. So there's that. Like, I mean, because look at the moon. What is the moon? The moon is shifting. It's always like high tide, low tide. So it's always like evolving. It can, and changing. It can never be consistent. Capricorn is consistency. You know, it's the people who are there, who show up no matter what. No matter if they, you know, if you look at, there was a guy, a press secretary for a previous administration, and you can find this video on YouTube somewhere. But he was like, you know, he showed up for work late to do this press conference for, you know, he was speaking on behalf of the president, and he was, you know, he held himself to high standard, and he was like, you know, he showed up. it's quite like funny and just but disturbing as well. Like, he was showing up for work saying, hey everybody, sorry I'm late, and he was like, my wife and children just died in a car accident this morning. I'm sorry I'm late. And stuff like that. And so it's just like, wow, like such a crazy thing happened to you and you're still here. Like, most people would be calling out that day. Like, you know. So you know, it just shows like a determination, like, no matter what goes on in my life, I will show up, I will fulfill my duties, I will fulfill my responsibilities. That, my friends, is Capricorn. Definitely. Like, he took responsibility even though, like, people were like, is everyone okay? Like, are you okay emotionally? And he was like, fuck off, I'm here to do my job. What's your questions? Like, let's not ask about me. Let's ask about what's going on. So, you know, with the world or with the president or whatever. So, that was funny. And really, like, that's how the world used to be. Like, nowadays you get like these kids and, you know, even adults nowadays is like, you know, they stub their toe and they're like, oh, I'm gonna call it the day off. No. You know, it's like it's just like calling off for the stupidest little things. And you know, hard work is how we succeed. It's how we get things done and how we achieve things in this world, you know. So sign of Capricorn is very, very important in this world, you know. If you didn't have Capricorn, everyone would be like on vacation, and, you know, you wouldn't get things done on time, and people, like, if they were having an emergency, they would probably die because they couldn't get medical services on time and things like that. So, it's doing the work. It's doing hard work. So with Moon here, we see the capability or the passion or the doing the hard work, it varies. Sometimes you'll be in the mood to just relax and hang out and chill, not go to work. And other times you'll be like, oh yeah, let's go to work. Let's do this. Let's be motivated. Let's achieve something. Let's do something, And so that's, that. So even though you do have a work-centered mind, very focused on business, personal achievement, or like career achievements, and like, just rising up to that next level, achieving, status and notoriety and position and rank and all those things. The mind can still be, and also, I was gonna say, the mind can still be flexible. It can still be like, oh, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like doing it. I don't, But also look at where your Saturn is placed, because that's very important. If Saturn is aspecting your moon, then that's like typically like, that's like double Capricorn energy. You could say that. Like, so it's going to be, even when you're having fun and playing, like your mind will be like, fuck, I still gotta go to, do work. I still, Andrew Tate, he's like, I'm not happy just sitting at a restaurant with like beautiful women around me, just doing nothing, He said he'd rather be working. And that's, if you have like that strong Saturn or Capricorn placements, that's the energy. Just work. Just what am I doing wasting my time on these frivolous activities? I'd rather be working. So that's what he does. It's one of those things where it's hardworking and stuff like that, but it's also like, let's take a break, let's take the day off, like let's, so it brings that like emotional energy into work. And with this placement, you can be very just emotional at work as well. Like, with like, if people are, competing against you and stuff, like, you can bring emotion and heat into that. Like, anger, rage, fury. Like, if you're getting beat at something, you can be very, just kind of, rageful at that. Instead of saying, okay, well, I'll do better next time. You'll be like, how can I cheat? How can I look for a way to like get this guy fired that's competing for my position? And stuff like that. So also we have Aries in the Ascendant, so that does affect this position. No matter where you are, what house, what sign, what position you're looking at in an Aries Ascendant chart, you always gotta look at that through the lens of Aries. So, with Aries Ascendant here, as I said, like, being very competitive, being very, like, just very competitive, being very hot-tempered, being very, you know, like, your mind is here in the 10th house, and it's thinking about, like, how can I rise above everyone else, you know? And it's thinking of shortcuts. It's thinking of, you know, well, if I outperform everyone, or if I put more work in, or if I stay longer, or whatever, then I'll outperform them. So, you know, it's very interesting. It's like, you know, like I said, whatever you have in your chart, Aries affects that. So, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this already. I think I may have, but I'm just gonna say it again anyway. So again, this like represents your mother, and as well as your mind. And for your mother, like, your mother will be very business-minded, very strict, very disciplined, very organized, structured, things like that. Also having that hot temper. You know, that fire, like, you gotta be organized, you gotta be structured, you have to be disciplined and all this stuff. And, you know, she'll probably be a workaholic or at work most of the time. And that's like how you know her. Like, you know her as like a businesswoman, or like a worker, or a hard worker, in the professional sense. In other words, you don't know her as a mother, you know, because she's probably always at work or things like that. You know, she's probably always busy and stuff like that. But anyway, the thing that I was gonna say was, wherever your moon is placed, look at the lunar phase calendar for your birthday. Look at when you were born, the date that you were born, what phase was the moon in, because that'll tell you like what your mental state will be. So if it's bright, if it's full moon, then that's like the best possible thing. Taking in the light of the soul, projecting it, reflecting it to Earth, which means that you get, it's like people with full moon tend to be happier, more fulfilled people, and less prone to depression, mental illness, and things like that. And people with, like, you know, if it's like, as I said in every other video, like if you have 60% or more, or like 40% or less, that'll like tell you whether you're more prone to depression or prone to, you know, being more adaptive, more well adapted to your life and environment and things like that, and how your mental state will be. So if more sun shines on it, then that's great. You'll be happier and things like that. But if less does, then more prone to depression, mental illness, things like that. Also, let's see here. So one thing that I've found helpful, extremely helpful, for this position, or, well, for any, like, mental, like, thing, like depression or anything that affects the mind or the moon placement, is mantras. So doing like a Om Namah Shivaya mantra, or Ganesha mantra, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, or anything like that. It's really beneficial and helpful for the mind. And it's worked on me. Like, I used to be super depressed, but now I'm not so much. So, but But yeah, I mean, good stuff, guys, and yeah, it's you know, it's a really beneficial thing to do, is the mantras, and yeah, so if you want a mantra and a ritual to do, I can basically with every astrology reading that includes a mantra, your own personal mantra. So I go through and look at your chart, and while I'm looking at your chart, I see, okay, well, this is beneficial, this is beneficial, so let's go ahead and make a mantra out of that. So I literally like study the stuff and give you the perfect mantra and ritual for yourself. You know, individual chart stuff. So if you want to get an astrology reading from me, or one of my astrology courses, or even my book, I have my astrology book as well on sale, so you can go check that out. Alright, so you want to go to gebotheshaman.com and purchase those things. And yeah, so anyway, guys, yeah, you know, I've had like numerous you know, clients tell me like how beneficial their reading was, so it's really beneficial for a lot of people, and for your own personal growth and your own spiritual journey and things like that. So yeah, that's about it for me, guys. So we will talk to you next time. Take care.